So I want everybody to know that we kind of just took like maybe an hour and a half to get ready for this, but that's okay. That's okay. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about this. We don't talk about this. But welcome back to the Ramblers. We have returned to talk more about new Star Wars content, specifically Maul Shadow Lord. And we also have a movie coming up this weekend, which we have never said that we have not said that in over 6 years, so that's pretty cool. We'll talk briefly about Mandalorian and Grogu. We'll also talk about Celebration. But majority of the time that we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about Maul Shadow Lord Jay. So I'm here with this guy Jay, who had to take a lot of alternatives, had to take a lot of dire routes to get on this recording with me. But that's okay. It's okay. Yeah. We're gonna skip past it, right? So what the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put you on a question gauntlet. I'm gonna put like 3 minutes on the clock, and I'm just gonna rapid fire like things
Okay.
I'm just gonna like give it to you. All right. Don't take that the wrong way.
Oh, that works. I wanted to check if my LEDs still work.
He just had a set update. Oh shoot. Nice.
Okay, it looks bad, so we'll keep it off for now. But maybe later.
Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Why are you the way that you are?
Crippling opioid addiction.
That was not what I was expecting.
Yeah, because when I was 4, like I broke my leg, and then I've just been addicted to them ever since.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah,
thank y'all for joining. Thank y'all for joining. We'll see you guys next week. Anyway, next question. We have Mandalorian and Grogu. I assume. Yeah. I hope that you're going to see it opening weekend. Correct?
Yes, I am. I was gonna go see it with my dad first. But we're going to go see it on Sunday, so I think I'm going to go watch it probably Thursday or Friday.
Yes.
Because I don't want to wait that long.
I am seeing it Friday nights. I'm going with my mom, my sister, and a close friend of mine as well.
Nice.
My main question is, where do you hope Mandalorian and Grogu ranks amongst your Star Wars movie ranking?
I hope, like, best case scenario, it's the best Star Wars movie ever made.
I'm not asking you to be super optimistic. I'm just saying, where would you like it to be, like, in the bare minimum?
I want it to be. I want it to be better than the 3 sequels. I want it to be better than Solo. I think I want it to be better than Solo. I don't think it's not gonna beat the originals or Rogue One or Revenge of the Sith. But I think if it's in that pocket, like right behind those movies, I think I'll be happy.
I think I'd probably give the same answer. Yeah, that's really nice. Last question. Out of any Star Wars project next year in 2027, either that is coming out or that you expect to be announced, which one are you most excited for?
I expect Jedi 3 to be announced, and if that is by far my most excited announcement. As for releases, I'm not sure. I know they delayed Ahsoka, so there's not that. I don't know how much we're really going to get in 27. But Jedi 3, super exciting.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it more later, but we know we're going to get Ahsoka Season 2, and we will probably also get Maul Shadow Lord Season 2 next year, if not in 2028. But animated seasons don't take nearly as long to release, so we'll see. But yeah, last question I have for you.
Mm-hmm.
How do I want to say this? What over the last year, what has been your favorite like Star Wars moment period? Either that you've watched from a show, watched from anything. Maybe you've revisited an old project and maybe you enjoyed that a lot. Like what do you think it would be?
Yeah. I think that's pretty easy for me. I mean, the Maul Mondays were great, but I think it's got to go to Andor Season 2, specifically the Gorman Massacre, that 3-episode arc, 7, 8, 9. Like watching that, me and you watching it in the watch party, hella late, hella cooked, but it was so entertaining. It was so much fun. And
it was really cool.
Like the hype around it, peak.
It was really cool, really fun. I still wish that show was 3 seasons instead of 2, but that was kind of me. Okay, all right. Set 3 minutes on the clock yourself. All right, you're gonna go.
Okay.
I'm putting you on the spot for a
Let,
brother.
let me set three, please. Timer's tweaking. Let me set 3 minutes. All right, and go. Okay. What have you been up to?
Well, dang. Wow, you really put me
Okay,
on the spot here. All right, so
last month, because you've been making some big moves.
last month I graduated college 2 weeks ago, a little over 2 weeks ago, on the 1st of May. That was a very sentimental day, to say the least. But then 2 days after that, I went to Walt Disney World for a week to celebrate. I went to Hollywood Studios on May the 4th, which was a very thrilling experience. You literally could not walk through Galaxy's Edge without directory. Um, the area, the area around Millennium Falcon Smugglers Run, like that whole sort of like patio, like there was no space. Like you would have to like cram through people to like walk across. So that was really thrilling. Staying there until I kind of wish it was at Disneyland instead, because Disneyland had a whole event called Star Wars Night where they showed a bunch of the characters. I think
Yeah.
they had like a show, like a illumination display show on the upper rock area. But yeah, that was cool. And then over the past week or so, I have been job searching. I've been applying to do grown men activities. Next week, or I guess this upcoming week, maybe we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Okay. What is over the last year? What has been your favorite like Star Wars merch or like item pickup that you've gotten?
Oh shoot. Okay, so I don't want to say too much about it early. I want to save it for later, but there was a lot of celebration merch that I wanted to buy whenever we were purchasing tickets, but I didn't want to use a bunch of time for it. In case you guys didn't know, celebration tickets for next year, they sold out in under 5 hours. It was the most hectic experience I've done regarding like going to an event or anything. So I didn't want to worry about that then. Uh, Overall, though, I do have this newer New Hope shirt that I got at Hollywood. It's a pretty cool one. I plan on wearing it next year for the events. But outside of that, I haven't really bought much Star Wars stuff, I would say. I don't know how recent. No, the Vader helmet was 2 years ago.
Vader helmet.
I also got this. I did purchase a Doc Ondar's lightsaber. I got the Kanan Jarrus one. That's pretty cool.
That's fun.
The quirk about this one is that you have to put the emitter over the blade and then slide the blade in. I kind of don't like, because like the whole quirk of Kanan's lightsaber is that he can detach the emitter from the blade and have them separate, and then he puts them together. It doesn't really translate well to a Galaxy's Edge lightsaber, but that's fine. But yeah, all in all, I don't really have much competition regarding those, so yeah, I'll say that.
But just yap for 3 minutes. So I'm gonna give you one more question at the end here. Which one of your Star Wars opinions would you say has changed the most? So this could be over the last year. This could be about games, movies, shows.
Dang.
Like what project or game do you think like has changed in your ranking or your
Over the
thoughts?
last year, it's kind of weird because over the last year specifically, I haven't really had a much change in opinion. Over the last couple years, I could give you some answers. I will probably have some changing opinions over the next year. I am going to rewatch one Star Wars movie per month. Tomorrow, I am rewatching Empire Strikes Back. I'm really thrilled because I haven't watched that movie through in probably a few years or so. It's been a long time, so that'll be cool. And then I don't really know what order I'm gonna set. The only reason why I'm skipping A New Hope for now is because I'm gonna save it for the theatrical release, which will be in February of 2027. So that'll be a really thrilling experience, that to say the least, as well. I hope we'll be here as well to chat about that. But all in all, I haven't really said. I don't really think I have changed much. Talking about Maul might give some perspective about that. But yeah, cool.
For sure. All
right. Let's go into our review of Maul Shadow Lord. Do you have a score out of 10? Do you think you do?
Yeah, I have a score.
All right, so here is our review for Maul Shadow Lord Season 1. I am going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. You are going to
Yeah,
give it a
9 out of
9
10.
out of 10.
Yeah,
Yes. So I have one take regarding it. Out of any Star Wars show, this would probably rank the highest in terms of what has surpassed my expectations, I would say. I think this has been more. I think this has been more impressive than Andor. I think it was more impressive than. I mean, of course, I don't really remember my expectations for way early in Mandalorian, but that was really good too.
yeah,
All in all, I was not going into the show. I had one little sort of plot point that I was worried about. I've let you know of this like multiple times. We see this Twi'lek Padawan character who we know his name's Devon. It is very clear that Maul has a apprentice interest in her. And going into the show, I'm just like, here we go again. We're just gonna do this for the third
yep,
time. It happens with Rebels. It happens in Rebels with Ezra, obviously. It kind of happens with Ahsoka in season 7, though not really. That's not quite the way that it goes. And then I'm just like, so we're gonna do this, and we're just gonna have to explain why this character is not in the story anymore going on in the future. However, what changed my perspective was that Maul did not have the sort of mindset of saying, "Oh, join me and we can conquer the galaxy." That is so cliche in Star Wars, and it is the original trilogy's fault. As much as I hate to say it, but it's more so he takes along the perspective of like your way of thinking is not adaptable in the times that we're in, and you need
yeah,
to give them up. I thought that was super interesting because we haven't really seen that much in Star Wars so far. And I hope it's something that we see more with Force user characters going into the future. What are your overall thoughts as far as going into it, and then what do you
yeah,
think? Did
yeah. Going,
I
yeah,
assume it met your expectations, of course, because
absolutely.
you were more excited for the show than I was.
I
So
was. So like, um, up until a few years ago, I think Maul was probably my favorite Star Wars character. And I was very excited for the show, but I kind of knew, like, at least the way I felt, it was sort of going to be a rehash. It's a lot of Star Wars animation recently has been very, um, I don't want to say underwhelming, but just kind of basic. Like the Tales shows have just been really underwhelming, and they're not bad. Like they're not bad,
the
they're fine, but they're
the
not
most
super
recent
impressive.
the most recent two Tale shows for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and I give Tales of the Jedi is decent, but it doesn't reach the heights of an actual show. Um, and so going into this, I'm a little hesitant, especially because, like you said, the whole Padawan thing, and Disney is loving to do this little like mentor thing they're doing. They got it going on with Omega and Bad Batch, Grogu and Mandalorian, um, all across Star Wars. Freaking, I don't know. I haven't seen Skeleton Crew, but that's a group of kids, and so I was worried that I was going to be able to like predict the plot of this because I kind of assumed, oh no, he's gonna try to turn her to the dark side, and she's gonna say no, and she's gonna have her master, and then her master's gonna die somehow, and then she's gonna come to the dark side, and then he's gonna kill Marok and the 11th brother or whatever, and that's how it's gonna go because we need certain things to happen to get where we need to go. But I think the way they played out the story was so much better than how it seemed like it was gonna go. Um, and they really did like super unique things. Like we can get more into my impressions after this, but they did a lot of really cool and unique things to spice up the plot and to make it like actually super gripping and super engaging. Um, and yeah, great show. 9 out of 10.
Yeah, the first two episodes to me were like it's a pretty good exposition. Like
Yeah,
Maul's aura is felt. It's
yeah,
really you can definitely feel the atmosphere. Episode 3 was the episode where I was like, yeah, this show is gonna be like really great.
yeah,
The scene, the scene where Maul and Devin are like having tea, and then like Devin kind of gets sick of Maul recalling his trauma about how Sidious killed Savage and how Grievous killed Mother Talzin, and she like ignites the saber, and then the lights go pitch black, and he's like haunting her. That was like, that might be like a top 3 scene in the show, in my opinion. And I don't know if it's the same episode or episode 4 when they meet on the very top bridge and they have that lightsaber duel. That's like, that was exceptional stuff to me. As when he's like going and he's like, unleash the anger, you have it, but then she doesn't quite have it.
That's the end.
And then he's like, well, I gotta drag this out somehow. So yeah, it's really cool. Very exceptional stuff. And then when the Inquisitors come, of course, the Inquisitors to me were a couple of my favorite characters because, they actually make Inquisitors cool again. This probably was the best Inquisitor representation outside of, I think the other contender is Jedi Fallen Order probably. But outside of that, like, Inquisitors have never felt more powerful than in the show, in my opinion. And I feel like that is definitely needed because they kind of do it with, the entire Imperial Army in Andor. Like, stormtroopers are actually feared all of a sudden when, stormtroopers have kind of been taken as a joke. Inquisitors were the same way. Some, Jedi, beginning of Jedi Survivor, when Cal kind of just slimes the hell out of Ninth Sister, when Ahsoka slimes the hell out of the Crow, there are a couple of moments where it's just like, the Inquisitors are not really to be taken seriously. No, they are. It's just that, they're kind of just outclassed by people that are just more competent in their work. And that's another thing I want to get into regarding that. So obviously the biggest controversy for the show has been power scaling. A lot of people feel like Maul is a little too weak in his show. I'm not going to be one to necessarily agree that they made Maul too weak, but I kind of still just don't quite understand it. Because we've seen Maul, and in the end of Rebels Season 2, we see Maul kind of just outclass Inquisitors pretty easily, and when he's older. This show, Inquisitors show up and he just gets injured like very fast into the fight, and then that's kind of just, he's kind of just incapacitated. What is your perspective as far as, do you believe they made Maul weaker on purpose in order to set him up better for the future of the show, or do you think that's just more so to show maybe Maul is a little too overconfident, maybe he believes he's just a little more powerful than he seems, maybe he hasn't adapted to the times yet, just how he's talking to Devin? What do you think?
So, like, I can partially agree with the statement that Maul was weakened, or that the power scaling is kind of messed up, but it's not to the degree that people claim it. People think like he should have been able to like wipe him like that. I don't think that's necessarily true. We see the first 4 episodes are literally a Maul power trip. Like, everyone he comes up against, he easily dispatches. The 2 Jedi, Docky kicks his leg in, but he easily dispatches them, right? So it's like we established that, yes, he is very strong. Within this show, I think it makes a lot of sense that he lost. When you take into account, like, Tales of the Jedi, Ahsoka, where, like, these characters, these Inquisitors are made to be a joke, I think then it starts to get a little weird with, like, oh, how did Maul lose to them? But in the context of the show, these Inquisitors are very competent. And that's the thing with Star Wars is, when you start power scaling and you start comparing projects to each other, it's like they're all made with different visions by different people. And so it gets kind of muddy. What I will say is Maul's entire thing is acrobatics. He's fast and he's strong. And when he can't do acrobatics, he can't do much. And people act like...
Exactly, yep.
I mean, look. There's 2 of them. They have 4 blades. And he's still holding his own against them without a leg. He's basically missing a leg, like damn near. And he outsmarts them at the end. He uses the Force to rip down the rocks, and he outsmarts him. It's not like, I mean, he was probably about to get struck down before Scorn sacrificed himself. But yeah, I mean, he was weakened, and whether or not you want to say, oh, it's dumb that they weakened his leg to have him lose, I mean, that's a whole different conversation. But in order to have a compelling story, you have to have a character that's not overpowered. Like you can't have a character that beats everyone they come up against. Um, what I will say though is that as long as they follow up in season 2 with a little more of an explanation, a little more of a level up, like mentally, spiritually, and like physically, like with his dueling skill, his strength, his mental, I think it'll make sense. If they don't follow up on it, I think it's a little weird because, like you said, in Rebels, he's a lot older, a lot weaker, and he dispatches them like that. In Clone Wars, which is only a year or two before, he like he beats down Savage in that duel, and Savage was known to like 1v2 Anakin and Obi-Wan. And like so like when you look at it in the context of Clone Wars, it's a little confusing. So I think they need to do some work to like establish, yeah. I think for most of us, like actual like Star Wars fans that are like watching it and paying attention, like we get it. We get that like it made sense in the context of the show, especially when you get episode 8. Um, but I think it would be good if it was explored a little bit more. I don't think he was that underpowered, but there's definitely valid conversations to be had. With the Vader fight, the Vader fight's a little questionable, but between the Inquisitors, yeah, he was definitely. It's not that bad.
Yeah, take you back to when Maul first made his reappearance in the Clone Wars season 4. He's able to beat. He and Savage are able to beat Kenobi kind of because they take him by surprise, you know.
Yeah.
And obviously, he never actually wins that fight. He gets help from Asajj Ventress to be able to escape, but you know that's not really the same thing. And then the first episode of Clone Wars season 5, he's genuinely sliming them out. He slices off Savage's arm. He slices off Maul's leg, like partly
that
because
was the craziest Obi-Wan feat of all time. That was insane.
Partly because Obi-Wan is known, like his physical training is known to be the best of the Jedi at that time, and he also has a thing for just having a clear mind whenever he needs to have it. But that's why I would say it. Of course, I probably would have appreciated like a couple more scenes in which it would explain, like Maul's mental space, because that definitely feels like a lot. That definitely has a lot to do with it, in my opinion. But because I saw a lot of argument comparing it to the Tales of the Jedi, 5-swing fight with Ahsoka, and it's arguing that Ahsoka wins that fight because her mind is clear. She's like, I have to win this or otherwise I'm not surviving, and these people are not surviving either. That's why she's able to have a clear mind. Maul definitely does not have a clear mind because, he knows that his former master is sending these people around to take him out. That kind of just, and the very next episode, after he gets trounced down into the under levels, he's going through that dusty wind scene, which is my favorite scene of the entire season.
Yeah,
when he goes through the gusts and he sees the flashbacks, like that was probably also my favorite episode. Like that was so good.
Yeah.
And if they made Maul this, all powerful character, we wouldn't be able to get stuff like that. It would kind of just be boring, to be honest.
Yeah.
And you also, going along the lines of history, look at Clone Wars season 7. Maul does beat Ahsoka in that fight, but then he ges too overconfident, and he ends up just turning it against him because of it. That is something that I feel like he gets too used to, and I think it's obviously a dark side trait. Luke says in Return of the Jedi, your overconfidence is your weakness. I think that applies to all dark side users. So yeah, I think that's the entire thing. Well, the Darth Vader fight will be an entire different discussion altogether, because that feels so different. But yeah, I think
absolutely. Yeah, definitely some weird things there.
So what I will ask you now is that I'm going to ask you about the final 2 episodes. Oh, your light is out.
It went dark. The backlight turned off. There we go.
I want to ask you about the last 2 episodes, because we obviously did not watch them together because I was out on vacation. What did you think of the last 2 episodes altogether, all in all? Because a lot of people think it's majority of the audience say that it's their favorite part of the season altogether.
Yeah, so I think 7 and 8 was a better episode, like package pairing. But 9 is probably my favorite episode of the show. And 10 is just like insane. Episode 9, I love episode 9 because it's the character relations and the character interactions are so cool. With like, we have literally all the characters we've built up throughout the show together, and they're trying to evade these inquisitors. And just that entire second half of the episode, once the inquisitors come in with the skiff and the acid, is like crazy good. Like
Yes.
setting up that set piece of the very slow skiff that can only take one or two at a time going across the acid that you can't step in, it just added so much. Because typically in shows, like, not to call out like Bad Batch or Rebels or whatever, but in a lot of shows, shootouts, like animated shows, shootouts are very boring. Like in Bad Batch,
Yes.
like there's tactics usually in Bad Batch, but a lot of times in Rebels and sometimes in Bad Batch, you're just waiting for the shootout to be over because you know no one's gonna die, and it's a mandatory thing. But in this show, there's stakes. There's the acid. There's only one person can go at a time, and it makes for some like really cool drama where I believe it's Two Boots goes first, or it's Riley, and and then you have all the lightsaber users fighting. That was just the coolest thing ever when they all clash blades, super cool. And then they go off one at a time, and then Spybot gets caught lacking, saddest moment of the show. And then we get Maul with the split saber, the Starkiller stance. And oh yeah, Icarus's sacrifice was really, really good. And they made the combat in a sense where it actually felt like his sacrifice mattered because there were only so many stormtroopers, and when he took out like 6 of them during his death, like that actually contributed towards the fight. And so I thought that was really cool. And then they all got away. And then the Vader thing at the end is like, come on, that's crazy. So I loved episode 9. Thought it was really cool.
I just want to say this. That whole shootouts take that you said is probably one of your best Star Wars takes I've ever heard you say.
Okay.
Like, that's something I never thought of, like, ever.
Yeah. You don't think about it, but it's true. You're not engaged during those scenes.
Yeah. One more thing about the final moment of episode 9. Have you heard of the detail as far as how Vader kills Rook Cat? So apparently, apparently I heard this from someone else. I don't remember who it was, but they asked Vanessa Marshall, who voices Rook Cat. She also voices Hera in Rebels, about how she would want Vader to kill Rook Cast, and that was and you can kind of hear it. Having the image in your mind, you're like, oh my lord. Yeah, that's nuts. But my review of the final 2 episodes, I really liked episode 9. I also really liked episode 10, but I was kind of also just like, what the hell is going on? You know,
it was insane.
there was so much stuff that it was really hard to just keep track of everything. My whole take of episode 10, though, as far as Darth Vader post original trilogy, I think there are 2 options that you can say that this project is his best representation. I think the first one is Jedi Fallen Order, and I think the second one is Maul Shadow Lord episode 10. I think those are the 2, like, in the Disney and all Disney era projects. Fallen Order is not really a Disney project, but in all the Disney era projects, those 2 are the best representations of Darth Vader that I've ever seen. Darth Vader obviously does not speak in this episode. Do you have any sort of take about that? I personally think it's fine. But,
so I have nothing against him not speaking because I'd rather them just not use AI. But again, for the story purposes, it doesn't matter that he doesn't need to talk. I didn't even notice that he didn't talk. But I would have really enjoyed an exchange between Maul and Vader, because throughout the years I've always wondered, like, that's been one of my biggest wish list things from Star Wars, is like a Maul Vader fight. And so I'm perfectly happy with this, but I do hope they meet again in some capacity where Maul, he's leveled up a little bit and they actually have a one-on-one. I don't think Maul can beat him, but I do want to see a one-on-one at some point, and I want to see him try to talk to him, because I think throughout this episode it's kind of implied that he's starting to catch on because he knows he's not an Inquisitor, and he knew Palpatine was grooming Anakin. So I think he's starting. At least he started to toy with the idea that it is Anakin. So yeah, I'd like to see more from that. It's not the worst thing in the world if it doesn't happen, but it would be cool.
Do you think that Vader's going to show up in season 2? Because I think it's kind of a given.
I think he will. Look, I mean, no one is killing Maul except for Vader or Palpatine, and at this point in the timeline.
I mean, like before this show even aired, it was leaked that both Vader and Dryden Boss were going to be in the scene. We all saw the posters. It was leaked everywhere. It was no surprise to anyone. Yeah. So I think that's fine. I also think that Vader being able to take 3-on-1s, I have no problem with that because Maul is an injured Sith Lord, and he's going up against two Jedi that haven't had any fights in this relative fights. You know,
they're bumps.
They're significantly smaller. You know, it's not even all that. So
what I will say about that, I think if Maul was at full capacity, I think Vader would actually have trouble, especially with the three of them. If the three of them were jumping him and Maul was actually like his leg was good, his mental was good, I think Vader would have a little bit of trouble because, I mean, if we're looking at Survivor alone, I mean, Seer, she is extremely powerful, but she damaged the hell out of him. And I think Maul has like a similar, Maul is a similar level of power to Seer in my mind, at least, like a fully powered up Maul. But yeah, no, I honestly I don't have problems with 10. It's just like dramatically and from like a story standpoint, it's just not as compelling as like episode 8 or episode 9, in my opinion. But it was so much fun. Like it was literally just an episode of dueling and shootouts, and it was great.
I also love that they made Vader like a horror figure, like that scene where he where Maul is going through the wall. I when he broke through the wall with his hand, I yelped out of my bed. I was like, oh my Lord, they're actually doing this. It's crazy.
That was insane. Like I knew he was gonna be in it. I didn't think he was gonna be in it an entire episode. Like that was insane.
Yeah, and then my favorite moment of episode 10 was probably him sacrificing Daki to because the entire like previous like 3 or 4 episodes, it's like, oh, Maul, maybe Maul's not that bad of a guy. No, Maul in that scene is saying, make no mistake, I do not like these fellas. I do not side with them by any means. They do not serve my purposes because they've made it clear they're not siding with me. So that's why that is one of the sacrifices I like. There's one moment in this episode I do not like. I do not like the Lawson sacrifice at all.
Yeah, because he's not dead. There's no way he's dead.
I don't think it's warranted because he doesn't do anything wrong in the season. I think that scene is done so much better if it's Two Boots doing it, because Two Boots is the reason why the Empire is there in the first place. So I think that would be so much better. But I mean, it makes that like they just did it for emotional connection between him and Riley, and that's fine. But all in all, I think it would have been so much better if it was a character alternative. But
I think with Lawson, it also just it doesn't hit for me because he totally should be dead. He got shot. We saw him get shot 2 or 3 times, but I'm a firm believer he's not dead because he is the only person. They linger on the shot. He's the only person that actually sees Maul push Daki into Vader. Like he sees it. Like they show Maul pushing him. They show Daki falling forward, and then it cuts to Lawson like looking at him, like looking at them as that happens. And it sits on that shot for a little bit, and that's very intentional. They wouldn't show Lawson seeing that they're gonna kill him 5 minutes later in the episode. So I think he's going to come back in some capacity, and somehow Devin's going to find out through him.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah.
That Maul betrayed him, and there's going to be some drama there. Yeah.
It's a bit of a predictable plot point. All in all, this show is going to lead to, in my eyes, it's going to lead to how the heck Maul got trapped on Malachor, because he comes in Rebels, and he's in the dark. I don't quite remember because I haven't seen it in a long time, but he's in the darker depths under the surface, just scrounging around. He's like super skinny because of it. the show is gonna get to that point. Whether if it's 2 or 3 seasons, I don't think it goes longer than 3 for sure. But
It's probably going to be 2, but hopefully 3.
as much I'll get as much Sam Witwer small content that I'll get, to be honest. But yeah,
and like I love Maul. He's one of my favorites. But I think after the show, we can probably take a break. I think we could take a break from a lot of these like prequel era characters for a little while.
Yeah. I have an interesting perspective regarding Sam Witwer and Maul. I have the same perspective as far as D. Bradley Baker and the clone, like, the clone character altogether.
Yeah.
I think his performance as Maul has gotten so good to the point where it's like, I don't even want to see Maul in live action anymore. I just want to see him in animation. Like, I don't care to see Tamora Morrison clones anymore. We saw him in Ahsoka and it was fine, but D. Bradley Baker has given those characters so much character to the point where it's like the alternative just isn't worth it. And I feel like Maul has gotten to that point. It's just like
Tamora Morrison is just he's a great Boba Fett. He's a great Jango. Don't get me wrong. But he just, at least maybe it's because we're the younger generation. But he's not my clone voice, Like it doesn't sit right with me when we see it. I mean, it looks fine, but it doesn't sit right with me necessarily when we see it, especially now with the practical clone armor when we're so used to that CGI clone armor from the prequels.
Yeah, like before the Clone Wars show, nobody really cared about the clone troopers like that much. We just known it because everybody was confused. Like, why are they suddenly just turning on the Jedi and killing all of them? And then the Clone Wars, explains that.
Clone Wars took like 8 years to explain that. Yeah,
true. But all in all, that's just and honestly, I don't think there's any other characters that. I mean, of course, you could also say that with Ahsoka, but like they casted Rosario Dawson for live action. I think she's fine, but it just doesn't really compare much to Ashley Eckstein's
and let's be honest, as long as Dave Filoni's involved, we're never gonna see the end of Ahsoka. She's gonna be here forever. She's never gonna die. She's invincible. She's gonna survive through all the major events and not help in the movies. And they're just gonna have to explain it.
Sure. We're never getting that.
She should have died on Malachor.
Movie,
I firmly believe she should have died on Malachor. That I think that would have made that so much more compelling. But that's all right. We got good stories. We've gotten good stories out of her post Malachor, so it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, season 4 of Rebels is my favorite season of that show, and that kind of I mean, World Between Worlds is probably not my favorite episode of that season, but
I like that.
But yeah. Going along the lines of other shows, where do you think Maul Shadow Lord season 1 compares to other Star Wars shows?
Yeah, I've given this a little thought. If we're talking as a whole show, Andor's better, Clone Wars is better, and I think you can make the argument Mandalorian's better. I think those 3 are better. Seasons, like specific seasons, I think is one of the best seasons of Star Wars television we've ever gotten. I think it is better than those first 2 Clone Wars seasons. It's better. I mean, what thing about Clone Wars is it is an amazing show, but it is a very inconsistent show, animation wise. Sound design wise, story wise, like just on all fronts, it's very inconsistent.
I've always been one to believe that Clone Wars isn't really a show; it's just a collection of many stories. Because there are some episodes that just do not connect to other episodes whatsoever.
Yeah,
I only want to compare it to animated seasons because it's hard to it's hard to compare a season with 20-minute episodes to live action seasons, which measure up to like 45 to an hour.
Yeah, so I still think I think it's under Clone Wars, it's under Rebels for me. I think it's gonna sit 3 until we get a season 2. If season 2 is just as good, it might go up.
Like I think Maul Shadow Lord's better than all 3 seasons of the Bad Batch. Season 3 is the one that comes. I would probably give Bad Batch season 3 like an 8 out of 10. I thought it was really good. As far as Clone Wars, seasons 4 and 5 is like the meat of the burger, and then season 7 has a great finale. But
The rest of it is
the first 8 episodes is kind of, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Season 6 is also a short season. That was the Netflix season when they discontinued the show and they released it there. I would probably take Rebel season 4 over it, but after that, I think that might be the line. As far as animated seasons, I would probably put it in the top 5.
Yeah, I can do it like that as well. Better than all 3 Bad Batch seasons. Better. I think I agree with you on Rebels too. I think season 4 is better. Season 3 is slightly worse. Season 3 has like 1 or 2 like really questionable episodes.
Rebel season 3 has a couple episodes where you're like, what are we doing here?
Like, isn't there that one episode with the side quest with just that like ragtag teenage gang? I don't know.
But it also has. But it also has, in my opinion, the best episode of the show in Twin Suns.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and Thrawn is peak in 3 as well. But yeah, I think Rebel season 4 is better than Maul, not the other 3. And then Clone Wars 5 and 4 are better. You could argue 3 is better, but I don't necessarily know. They're neck and neck. It's better.
From my knowledge, I think the only the highlight of Clone Wars season 3 is Mortis.
Yeah.
But after that, I don't really remember. Oh, there's Night
Brothers.
There's the Trandoshans arc at the that's the finale.
Oh, you know what else? The Battle of Kamino is that as well. But that's only like 2 episodes.
That is at the beginning, yes. Clone Wars season 3, yeah. That's like a flashback. The first episode's like a flashback with Heavy,
chronological.
With Heavy, and then the next episode, because it introduces 99 and his connection with him. But yeah. But all in all, as far as Maul Shadow Lord, great season, definitely worth a watch. It's not even a long watch. It's like less than 5 hours. So yeah,
pacing is phenomenal.
Yeah,
I will say that Maul Shadow Lord has the best pacing out of any animated Star Wars show. Like every episode moves the plot along like perfectly.
Yeah. So great season. Looking forward to a great show. Yeah. A couple of points that we'll add before we talk about Celebration. Ahsoka season 2 has been delayed to early 2027. It was slated for late 2026, but because we haven't really seen any marketing for it at all, it kind of makes sense that they delayed it, and it's perfectly fine to me. I believe it has been done filming for quite a while within the last year. It started filming a couple of years ago. There was a leaked picture of Amon Esfandi as Ezra without the beard on like a Republic ship or something. That came out like 2.5 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
So
I think it's so CGI heavy. I think it's so CGI heavy because of the battle. I think it's supposed to be like all out battle. I think that's why it takes so long.
However, I am really excited for it because, like season 1, we're going to see new things that we've never seen in Star Wars. For sure, because what does Ahsoka in season 1 introduce? Intergalactic travel. That was really cool. Like distant galaxy. We've never. I don't know if we've ever done an expanded universe, but we've never been
comic in the 80s.
True. And the Thrawn books. No, I'm kidding. But then that whole planet of Peridia, like a bunch of that stuff is just going to be like, what is going on? It's probably going to be messy, but I'm still going to just love it a lot. Like Return of the Jedi is a messy movie, but it's still one of my top 2 favorite Star Wars movies.
Still top 5, undebatably.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to it. My prediction is that it's going to be involved in Celebration somehow. We might be watching episodes of it at Celebration.
We might. Yeah.
That's gonna be cool. That's gonna be cool.
Absolutely. So the thing with Ahsoka, season 1 it took a lot of big swings and it missed on a bit, but when it hit. I think that show is it's the live action show that feels the most like George Lucas Star Wars, in the way that we have like
great take.
Yeah, it feels like George Lucas. Like when I was watching it, I was like, this is cool. Like these villains have cool designs and they're wielding lightsabers, and like Ahsoka's cool. Marok is cool. I don't care what you say. Marok is cool, although he's a fraud, but he's cool. He looks cool. He looks very cool. The choreography is questionable in that like those fights he has, but um, and dude, I love all the villains. Seeing Thrawn is awesome. Just like all the whimsy of Star Wars is there, and the cool factor is there, and getting to see like Ahsoka like come back into her own, like sort of how she was really cool. And season 2, I'm sure they're gonna take more big swings. I'm sure they're gonna set up bigger things. We saw that statue of the Mortis gods, which is really interesting at the end of one. Like I'm here for whatever they cook up. I heard a rumor. I didn't hear. Apparently, Admiral Akbar's supposed to be in it. Akbar versus Thrawn. I'm so down. I want to see. I've been on this train for years. I need to see more original trilogy characters in other projects. Like, give me Akbar.
You remember how dirty they did him in The Last Jedi? That's so sad, bro. Anyway.
Off screen.
Oh, another interesting thing. It's the first time that we'll see Dathomir in live action. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty cool.
That's really cool.
It's not a super premiere tidbit, but I think it'll be pretty interesting. Outside of that, though, that's Ahsoka season 2. Of course, Mandalorian and Grogu's coming out this next weekend. The premiere was a couple nights ago. Overall reviews, people are saying that it's a pretty low stakes Star Wars show that's like pretty good. It's just not super great. So I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun watch. I think it's going to be one of those. I think it's just going to be one of those Star Wars movies that just has a bunch of action, and the story might falter a little bit because of it. But it's a lot of most Star Wars movies are like that to me. So it's fine.
Yeah. That's going to be exciting. I mean, just seeing a Star Wars movie in theaters, I think just hearing the music on the big screen is gonna be enough for me to like love it.
Yes.
And yeah, as long as I've heard it's basically like a condensed version of what a season 4 could have been. It's like a few episodes of the show. And honestly, I'm here for that. Upgraded budget, upgraded visuals. Just like, I'm here. I'm not expecting the most groundbreaking film, but I'm really excited.
Yeah. We'll be getting on here next week to be talking about that. That'll be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Last thing we'll talk about before we head on out, we are very proud to announce that we will be at Star Wars Celebration in April 2027. This was a bucket list for me. The first Star Wars Celebration I watched was back in 2017. Maybe it was probably that or 2018. And I was like, one day I'm going to go to this. Since COVID, it hasn't really helped because the last one was in Tokyo and the one before that was in London. I'm just not traveling internationally for it. I'm sorry. So going to LA, you're going to be living really close to it, which is going to be so sick.
I'm going to be a half an hour away from the convention, dude. That's going to be so sick.
I'm going Thursday through Saturday. You're going the whole events. You have tickets for the whole event. So yeah, that'll be cool. What are your biggest hopes? Give me a top 5 list of things that you want to do or see.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be in order, just whatever.
No, the rest of this list won't be in order, but this is my number 1. I need to see Jedi 3. Like, I need to see something. Give me something for that, because that would be fire. And my favorite game series of all time, even though there's only 2. And that's really exciting. Honestly, I think I'm really excited for. I guess my second would be just any sort of like early screenings or sneak peeks into further shows. Like I think that's a really cool thing, like to get to do, to be able to see certain things early, whether it's trailers or even in some cases they have full episodes. So that's probably my 2. 3, honestly, probably just meeting other Star Wars fans, because like no one where like I'm from is really on the level of me of like liking Star Wars. And so I think it's gonna be really cool.
You're so goated, Jay. You're so goated.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So like found this guy from Oklahoma, and he knows a lot about Star Wars, and it's cool. And that sounds like a lyric to like a country love song. You should write that.
No, I'm playing. They knew I was from here. That's fine.
Yeah. I just doxed you. So yeah, meeting other Star Wars fans, and just like that experience would be really cool. So that's my 3rd one. Well, probably I wanna see some. I'd really love to visit some of the actor panels and hear what some of the actors have to say on some things.
Yes.
Specifically, I don't remember quite, like, Hayden Christensen is going. I'm not sure what day it is, but that would be
Yeah,
really cool.
so I'll tell you, this is not going to be the full cast. There are going to be
Yeah,
more that are announced, but so far there have been 5: Hayden Christensen, Anthony Daniels, D. Bradley Baker, Ian McDermott, and then Michelle Ong, who is Omega's voice actor. Those are the
yeah.
5 that are confirmed, and then there will be definitely more. I think Ryan Gosling might be there
You
for
probably will be.
Starfighter.
Yeah,
That'll probably be cool. Yeah. So as far as starting my list, we have the same number one. I need to see something for the third Jedi game. Like,
yeah,
I will definitely, when that game comes out, I will definitely be recording myself playing it and just doing reactions with it.
yeah.
That'll be the sickest thing ever. I might have to wait a little after the release date to do that, but that's okay. That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Yeah.
Number 2, 50th anniversary panel. That's just gonna be
Yep.
so. That's just gonna be
Absolutely.
so wild.
Forgot about that.
Something that might, who knows if Harrison Ford's gonna make. Of course, more than half of the original Star Wars cast has passed away, so it's
Yeah.
kind of sentimental on that part. Who knows if Mark Hamill will be there? Who knows if, of course, Anthony Daniels will be there, but who knows if maybe George Lucas will be there? He's kind of been tapped in with. He's kind of been tapped in with Disney, so we'll see about that. He's been in a bunch of Mandalorian and stuff and whatnot, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as those 3, maybe who knows what will happen. Number 3 would probably be Ahsoka season 2. I think that I think as far as guarantees, I think that's number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starfighter. I want to see something with Starfighter because the only thing that we've heard since Celebration Tokyo was the announcement that it started filming like last fall. Which it's good. That's on time. A lot of people think that movie's not coming out. I highly disagree. It's a Ryan Gosling Star Wars movie. That's gonna sell a lot.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Who knows what the movie's gonna actually be about? But it's a post rebellion era, so I'm gonna be interested in that. Number 4 is a new Star Wars project announcement. I just want to see something new.
In the dark. I'm in the dark. I'm gonna open my blinds.
And then number 5 to me would probably be meeting other Star Wars content creators. I think one of my favorite other Star Wars not project. My dyslexia is getting in the way of me. My other favorite Star Wars project is This or That Star Wars. They talk a lot. They just yap. They don't even have like structured conversation. They just yap about whatever they want in terms of the franchise. Like my favorite clips of them is when they're just yapping about Legos.
It's those guys.
That's just the funniest thing ever. Obviously, there's I like most Star Wars content creators, and a lot of them might be there. There is one controversy though that we have to talk about. That ticket buying process is the worst I've ever seen.
Yes, bro. Let scalpers buy 20 tickets. That's so fair. That is so fair.
Well, that's only half of the problem. The other half of the problem is that there's not even a real like queue to go in line. You just get like a random chance to like speed through the queue.
Yeah.
It took me. So I was on the East Coast. I got in line about maybe 2:15. Tickets went live about 3 p.m. I got through the line in about an hour. 4-day tickets were already sold out. So I was like, all right, I just got to buy single day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got them all. And then I didn't worry about merch because I didn't want to waste more time on that. We will be able to get it at the events, I hope. And then, bam. Tickets did sell out within 5 hours. I think Friday and Saturday, which are like the busiest days, I think those tickets sold out within like 3. 4-day tickets sold out within like 50 minutes, which that was crazy. And then VIP, which is I'm not buying VIP because those tickets were genuinely $1,200. Those sold out within like 20, I think, maybe. So it was a weird process. I've seen so many people comment like on Celebration's Instagram. I've seen so many comments. The top of are just complaining how bad Repop's ticketing was, and I get it. I feel you guys really. I'm not gonna call myself a victim because I was able to buy tickets for the event, and you guys were not, so it's fine. But yeah, really feel you on that. But yeah, that's kind of just
it
what it
sucks
is.
because it's like with these big events like this where you have like thousands and thousands of people waiting in line. It's really hard to have infrastructure to like make it fair for everybody, and everybody there is not going to get a ticket. So it's an unfortunate thing, but they definitely could have streamlined it a little better.
It's tough because I think the total amount of like parties that were trying to get tickets were measured up to like maybe 100,000. Like this is gonna be the most popular celebration that has ever happened. Primarily,
50
mainly
years.
because the last U.S. based one was before COVID, and then they had that long stretch where they didn't have one, and then the first one that happened after COVID was 2023. Then after 2025, and then obviously 2027. So we'll see. But yeah, they do definitely need to reform something of some kind because you should not be able to buy 20 tickets in one go.
No,
that's
ridiculous.
Not good. And the proof of that was before tickets even sold out, people were reselling them on eBay for thousands of dollars. And it's like, can you not even be even more discreet with that? Like, come on, man.
Scalpers are the scum of the earth.
I don't know the solution, obviously, and it's not my problem as much as I love and hate for me to say that, but yeah, that's kind of what it is. So yeah.
Feel for y'all.
Yeah. All right. Mandalorian and Grogu next weekend. Next week we will get on here and chat about it. We will discuss our thoughts. Outside of that, we'll see y'all later. See you.
All right. Peace.